Why do bad things happen to good people? It's a question many of us have asked ourselves at some point. You may think, I try to be a good person. I help others, avoid harming anyone, and do my best to live righteously. So why do these negative, painful experiences keep coming my way? Why does life keep testing me relentlessly? These are questions we've all pondered at one time or another. Buddha had a profound perspective on this matter, revealed during the night of his enlightenment. The first major realization he arrived at was that life is inherently full of suffering. Suffering is not something that selectively targets good people or bad people, it is universal. It's an inescapable part of the human condition. Yet, when we hit tough times, when we find ourselves trapped in painful circumstances, we often feel isolated in our struggles. It feels as though we are the only ones experiencing such hardship. This sense of loneliness in suffering is deeply human. I'll admit, I've felt that way myself. But what Buddha reminds us is that suffering is not unique to any one individual, it is a shared experience. Let me share a story that illustrates this perspective profoundly. There was once a young mother who loved her child dearly. When she tragically lost her baby, she couldn't accept the reality of the loss. Driven by grief, she carried her baby's lifeless body from one village to another, desperately seeking a doctor who could revive the child. But despite her efforts, no one could bring back the dead. Finally, she approached the Buddha. He told her he could help but first needed a specific medicine to perform the cure, a handful of mustard seeds from a household where no one had ever died. Hopeful, the mother eagerly set off to find what seemed like a simple request. At the first house she visited, she asked for mustard seeds. The family was willing to help, but when she inquired if anyone in their household had ever died, they answered that their uncle had passed away the previous year. Disheartened, she moved on to the next house, and then the next, but everywhere she went, the answer was the same. Every family had experienced loss in some form. By the time she had searched the entire village, she realized what the Buddha had tried to teach her: death, loss, and suffering are universal experiences. Everyone faces them in some way or another. With this newfound understanding, she found the strength to accept her child's death. Returning to Buddha, she thanked him, not for curing her baby but for helping her heal and come to terms with her grief. This story conveys an essential truth about life: suffering is inevitable and universal. While we often wish away our pain, longing for it to vanish like a bad dream upon waking, this approach doesn't align with reality. When suffering exists, it exists. Wishing it away does not change its presence but merely prolongs our struggle with it. The first step to overcoming life's hardships is acceptance. This is the essence of the first noble truth in Buddhism, recognizing and accepting that suffering is an inherent part of existence. Only when we face suffering without denial can we begin to address it and seek remedies. Too often, we expend energy trying to change what cannot be changed. Instead, the focus should shift to how we react to these experiences. Our personal growth lies in confronting challenges, those adversities that seem unbearable at first yet shape us into stronger individuals over time. Think of it this way: if you want to learn how to swim, you must immerse yourself in water and confront the sensation of sinking and struggling. Only through that experience will you develop the skills and confidence necessary to swim successfully. Similarly, hardships and struggles are opportunities for growth, blessings in disguise that strengthen our character and resilience. Wishing for a life devoid of suffering is unrealistic. Instead, aspire for a mindset that equips you to face life's challenges with courage and grace. A strong mind transforms every difficulty into an opportunity for growth. When you cultivate such inner strength, when you are prepared for anything that life may throw your way, you will find peace and happiness even amid adversity. So, don't pray for a pain-free existence. Instead, wish for the fortitude to face life's hardships head-on. With this outlook, you'll find yourself more capable of navigating difficulties while remaining anchored in peace and strength. That's where true contentment lies, in being ready for anything life brings your way. It's important to remember that not only do bad things happen to good people, but good things happen to them as well. And yes, you might sometimes question why so many good things seem to happen to bad people. However, that's not always the case. Just as good things can happen to bad individuals, bad things can also happen to good ones. That's simply the nature of life in this world. With this in mind, it's essential for all of us to cultivate a mindset that views suffering as a universal experience rather than taking it personally. My hope for all of you is that you're able to develop a resilient mindset, one that equips you to face life's challenges with strength and perseverance.